Good morning. Welcome to the Parenting Versus podcast. Day before Thanksgiving Eve. Maybe I should sit by you so I don't have to keep moving our high-tech mic.
Yeah.
Here, I'll just sit by you.
I mean, this chair's only big enough for one.
Ah! Ooh.
You okay?
I stubbed my toe. Oh. That hurt.
Yeah, that ottoman is pretty rough. It's also vintage.
Might have broke my foot.
I don't think you broke your foot, but I see our kids jumping on our bed, and I'm scared to like walk in there and see the rest of what they're doing.
They're terrorists. I mean,
they're terrorists. Yeah. They really
no, they're
are.
terrorists.
Oh, well.
They're not terrorists.
I mean, they might be both.
Maybe.
They might be both. Oh, here they come.
Of course.
Mom, do you see that white stuff on the mirror? That's what Riley sprayed.
Oh, okay. Can you...
Cool.
I'm gonna clean it.
I don't even want to know what that is.
I like how we don't hear from them for a long time. And then as soon as we start, they come in. It's every time.
It's like #FML.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, I would. I would today.
Today?
Yeah.
Just today?
Maybe not just today. Our kids have been into everything. Like, I mean, that's not anything new, but like this week especially, I've noticed.
I think it's their age. We have two toddlers, and toddlers, they do the craziest.
I bought a whole thing of
crap.
Foil
Yes.
the other day, and it got unwrapped.
They did that twice.
Well, yeah, the second time it was all over the living room.
Yeah, the first time it was all over the living room, and I rolled it up because I'm a cheapskate. And I'm like, this is something we can use. So I rolled it back
I got
up.
it at the dollar store. You can get more.
Every dollar.
Yeah. So
Counts.
there was foil everywhere.
Was your morning foiled?
Yes. Ha ha. Ha. Are you going to be okay?
I really hurt my foot.
My foot? What are you, like a Texan now?
Actually, I kind of am.
I really hurt my foot. Oh my goodness. Like you get hurt and all of a sudden you have like a drawl.
Wet towel.
That's a great idea.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your help.
So that reminded me of Woody from Toy Story. Toy Story?
There's a snake in my boot.
Yeah. Did you know that movie was deleted completely on accident?
Really? Mm-hmm. That sounds like something we would do.
Somebody accidentally deleted it. It was stored on Unix servers.
I don't know what that even means.
So, operating systems makes your computer run. Mm-hmm. Unix is an operating system, but it's not like you click on a start button. You have to type a command in. So somebody accidentally typed a command to delete, and the movie was basically deleted, like a multi-million-dollar movie. It was deleted. I saw this on YouTube the other day.
Did they have to do everything?
No. So luckily, one of the people on staff was working on the movie at home on her personal computer, and she had the entire movie on her computer.
Well, thank God for that.
So there was almost not a Toy Story 2.
Good job, Karen.
I don't even know what her name was. Look at, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So thanks, Karen, for saving Toy Story.
Toy Story 2.
2. Mm-hmm. God forbid we don't have a sequel to Toy Story.
Yeah.
What kind of world would this be? Hey, I'm looking at a picture on our TV of me wearing a sweatshirt, and I'm wearing the same sweatshirt right now.
Yeah. We have
Weird.
We have Chromecast.
It's not that weird.
And when Chromecast is ambient in ambient mode, when it's not playing anything like a show, we have it set to play.
Your daughter's stuck.
Photographs.
Behind you.
Oh, are you stuck?
Wow, she sounds like you. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
All right, take your sippy and get out of Dodge, friend. She chugs, man.
Yes, she does.
Have you noticed that? She like chugs things. I can't chug things.
She's thirsty.
I mean, in high school, I tried to do like a keg stand once, and it did not work out. Not for me.
That's awful.
I'm not a chugger. Cheers to your chugging. Don't let it get to your head, little lady.
I didn't have a single sip of alcohol in high school.
Well, aren't you
Are you
a
teaching
saint?
her how to cheers at
She already knows how to cheers.
the young age of 2?
Yep. Her and Riley cheers their sippy cups. Haven't you seen them do that?
Yeah.
Wait until they're 21.
Nope.
Hey, Juliet, did you win the dance party yesterday? She says, yeah. She was at a birthday party and they had a dance party. Yeah.
There's coffee in there?
Yeah, there's coffee in there. And she won the dance party because that's how we do.
And that party.
Yeah, you won the dance party. Did you get a bouncy ball?
Look, and Mommy Papa.
Yeah, Luke's at Naomi and Papa's.
Yeah. Yeah, she won the dance party. So she had some good moves though.
Yeah.
Um
So we had a counselor a while back, a marriage counselor, that told us couch time is a good thing.
I kind of wonder if that marriage counselor ever dealt with 3 toddlers or 2 toddlers and a kindergartner at the same time, first grader.
I don't know.
Thank you. Okay, bye. She's like handing me your sippy cup and like now she's walking like a weirdo back to
Kids are crazy.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy week. So how's life being at home and not working? I think, because I don't remember the last time we recorded a podcast. We didn't record a podcast this weekend. Well, we did.
No, we didn't.
Brian and Gio.
Yeah. When
made
are
a
they
podcast.
Releasing that, by the way?
I don't know.
Been
They actually edit
waiting.
stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They're way more professional about that than we are. Yeah, they do edit. You guys do a good job editing, Brian and Gio, by the way. It sounds marvelous.
We definitely don't edit. We definitely don't.
I was listening to their
Put much care.
F Mary Kill serial killer episode, and I was cracking up in my car. Like, people that were like driving next to me were probably like, "What is that lady's deal?"
Yeah.
Like, she is mentally ill. Like, because I was like, "That's so funny," and I was like saying it out loud, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm like the only one in here." I don't really care what people think of me, but
You weren't the only one in there.
oh, I was
You had Brian and Gio in the car with you.
making me laugh my ass off.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I love
So
it.
that was the only podcast we recorded, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I think the week before, you had mentioned that you weren't working.
Yeah, still not working.
So we are a traditional family now, where I'm
we're missing-
bringing home the bacon. And you're tending to the littles.
Can we not say it like that, please?
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, please, because I can't. This isn't 1950. No, I'm not working. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I've been applying, I've been putting in applications, but I haven't been like hustling as much as I probably should be, just because I want to get through Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow. But also, in a weird way, it's been kind of nice to have like a routine with my kids. So I don't know. I'm just kind of waiting for the next chapter, whatever that may be. Also waiting on a couple applications, so we'll see what happens. But working on jewelry.
Well, I can give you some advice.
Side hustles.
Just let go and let God.
Would you stop?
Pray for a hedge of protection.
Can you stop? Oh, it's funny. That phrase, my mom... My mom and dad were talking about that phrase last night when I stopped by to drop off our nephew. And I was like, don't say that. My dad's like, why? And I was like, a hedge makes me think of like Edward Scissorhands, and he's like chopping a little wall around your house.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
Christian language is weird.
Oh my gosh, a hedge of protection. Like, and let's be real here for a second. Would a hedge actually protect you from anything? No, it would not.
And if you didn't pray for protection, would God just not protect you?
God's like, sorry,
Oh,
you didn't pray for the
you
hedge.
didn't get the hedge, so
But, I mean, you didn't say the magic words, so I'm not showing up. Like, yeah, I don't understand that phrase. I hate that phrase. I think it's stupid. And travel mercies too is another one. I'm like, travel mercies? Like, dear God, please be merciful in our traveling. It's like, what does that mean? Like, you hope you make it to the next gas station? Like, you hope there's a McDonald's on the way? What are you praying for?
well, bless their hearts. They don't.
Oh, bless your heart. Oh my gosh. There's so many like Christianese phrases that get thrown around, and we're just like,
They're
we don't,
awful.
people say them, and I'm like, do you even realize like what you're saying?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I grew up with that language, so it's
Well, it's
normal.
normalized for you because you've had like a, introduction to it. But
I have to pause for a second.
okay.
On the Chromecast is me and one of my co-teachers, not co-teachers, I guess, but we teach the same subject. But I just remembered a good time that we had there.
So you're co-teachers.
Well, co-teacher says that you teach in the same classroom at the same time.
Oh.
Co-workers.
Excuse me.
Yeah. No, Christian language is crazy. I just finished a book on... It was a book on tape. Not even tape. I don't know why I say book on tape. Audio book.
Yes.
I'm using the app Hoopla, which is fun to say and also a really good app.
You like to say it every time.
I do. It's called How to Speak God from Scratch by Jonathan Merritt. And he talks about all of the language that we speak as Christians and how a lot of the words actually mean a lot more than we give it. Like we suck the meaning out of a lot of the words because we use them
casually.
Yeah. One of the ones he spent a good portion of the book on was blessed.
Oh, I hate that so much.
So blessed is a beautiful word, but when it's reduced down to like capitalistic gain, like it turns into like something else.
I think we talked about this on one of our previous podcasts, like a long time ago. Oh wow, I was really, really skinny in that picture. Let's get back to that.
Like
as I'm drinking a beer in that picture, how did that work out?
We're commenting on still the pictures on our Chromecast.
What year was that? No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy because I hate the way we have turned the word blessed into like this. Well, it's like a hashtag now, really. But it's like we associate being blessed with like something that like God has favor over you and yours because you've somehow you're more holy or you're
you've given God something and He's gonna quote bless you in return.
It's a total like prosperity gospel kind of idea, and I hate it.
That's some Joel Osteen Creflo Dollar.
Oh, I know. Well, and then it's funny because but then you like see it on shirts too. I'm like, you're gonna walk around with a shirt that says hashtag blessed on it. I've seen that. It's like a lot of like I see it all the time, and I'm like,
where do you find a hashtag blessed shirt? Walmart,
DD's, Walmart, everywhere.
Really?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah, so I'm like, what do you like? It's almost like it's like a humble brag. Like it is. Yeah, I'm so blessed.
Yeah, in the book,
and you're like,
in that book, he talks
tell me
about
how
that.
great your life is. Why don't you just say my life's going pretty good right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, hashtag blessed sucks. I hate it. Let's burn it to the ground. So speaking on that kind of vein of stuff, it was interesting because on the news the other day there was a pretty well-known mega church here in town, who I won't say their name. I want to, but I won't do it. Not this time. And they are giving out turkeys and stuff, and I think that's good. But like when they went to go interview like the outreach pastor guy, like they were like, so, you know, like tell us about your reason for doing this. It was just like chock full of this like Christianese bull crap. And I was like, dude, you're on the news. You have a platform to like actually be a real human being and like relate to people. And you're throwing out all this stuff that people are like, oh, nope, pass. Like it was so frustrating.
Did he say just like 50 times? We just wanted to just bless the community and just
because we're hashtag blessed.
Build a hedge of protections out of turkeys, and we just wanted to love on them. What's the one?
Love on them. Yeah, actually, I think you did say love on them.
We just want to do life with our community.
It was just very like Christianese and kind of like, well, our church mission is to get out there in the community, and I'm like, dude,
why
really?
Is every evangelical a West Texan?
I don't know.
I guess Lubbock is, that's like...
Jen, why is every evangelical a West Texan?
She's not here.
But she'll listen.
Oh, okay.
And she'll answer me later.
Okay.
Actually, I have to say this. I had a dream last night. And it was really cool. I was having so much fun, guys. James, it was James and John. I had a dream, James, that you bought a van. And you're like, I'm picking you guys up in the van. I have booze in here. Let's go for a drive.
These are people who are part of our life group.
We're doing life together with them. But in the van, James was driving, and it was like one of those 70s vans that had like the, you know, each like the captain's chairs.
Oh, I used to have one in high school.
Really?
It was a Dodge. It was a Dodge Ram something van. It was like a 1987.
Did it have like the lions on the side?
It was brown, and it did have, like, stripes.
Yep, that's the van that was my dream.
And it had curtains, like velvet curtains.
Yes, that was the van of my dream.
And my mom sold it for $1,000, and it still sits in the driveway of somebody's house that's on Lead and Bryn Mawr.
Wow. I wonder if they just, like, live in there. It's like somebody's drunk uncle.
Maybe.
Just lives in that van. No, but I had a dream that we were driving to Portland.
Uh-huh.
And I was with James and John, and we were just, like, driving, and, like, it was the funniest thing, because James is like, there's vodka, I have some beer in there, you guys, just get whatever you want. And so we were just drinking in this van, driving to Portland, and it was, like, super fun.
That sounds awesome. Why wasn't I in your dream?
I don't know. But then, the weird part was, when we got to Portland, we went to this,
I've been pissing you off, that's probably why.
You were excluded from my van dream. Sorry, maybe next time. We got to Portland, and we went to this, like, old folks home. But they had really good food. So we were sitting in this, like, I don't know, it was like some, like, 5th or 6th story, like, old folks home, having, like, this lunch buffet and just, like, talking and stuff. And I was just like, this is so fun, guys. Like, we should do this more often. This is a really good time. It's just super weird. And then
weird.
I got woken up.
You got woke?
I got woke.
You got woke in Portland?
Then I got woke.
You and a million other people got woke in Portland.
Whatever, it was my dream. And so my daughter came in and crawled in, like, she was crying, and then she woke me up from my awesome van dream, so I had to come back to real life.
Yeah, our kids decided they wanted to wake up on the first day of my Thanksgiving break at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good for them.
They're definitely early. I guess it's...
Look, that's when they were still cute.
Yeah, it's a picture of our babies on the Chromecast.
I miss when their hair was like that.
Yeah. I think it's our fault to wake up so early, though. Yeah. We're the ones that put them to bed at 7.
Yeah, we're terrible people. We should let them stay up till, like, 8 or 9.
Yeah. Last night was a challenge for me.
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
You kind of lost your shit. He had a parenting meltdown, more or less.
I did.
Do you want to talk about that? You want to be real?
Do I want to be real?
Yeah. You want to talk about how hashtag blessed you are with your meltdowns?
Our son, well, one of our sons went to bed, like, immediately. He hit the bed and he was out. The other son decided he wanted to take an hour and a half to go to sleep, and even then he didn't fall asleep. And then I lost my temper, and Lindsay's like, tag out, my turn. And I was like, all right. I was pissed off. Lindsay was pissed off at me. Lindsay finished up putting him to bed, and I watched Handmaid's Tale because you're caught up.
You know what's funny? I feel like being home with them is actually giving me slightly more patience. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like I'm learning different coping strategies that I never was forced to deal with before when I was, like, working. And so I've been able to be like, okay, round 2. Like,
that's good. Yeah, I mean, it's good to know, like, where your limit is, and I probably should have tagged out sooner, but I know you were enjoying making your jewelry, you were enjoying being on the phone, you were smiling, you were happy, you were giddy, like, talking to people on your phone and just enjoying your time, and I was in there, like, you know, doing my parenting duties. So I didn't want to disturb you because I knew that wouldn't be fair.
Well, but
I should have, and I know that you probably would have protested if I did, but
not really. Like, the thing is, I feel like at this point, like, we are both kind of in a spot where, like, we know our limits, like you said, and it's going to be a harder night for everybody if nobody gets to sleep on time, or, like, there's so much, like, tension that, like, we're arguing and fighting and everybody's just, like, pissed off and, like, doesn't go to sleep and everyone's riled up. Like, it's going to be a harder time for everyone. So if I have to, like, take the hit and, like, go in there, even though it's not my night, if that eases some of the tension, it's fine, because it's going to be a lot worse if everybody loses their shit. You know, it's going to last a lot longer if everybody's in there, like, losing their minds than if, like, we just take turns.
Yeah, that's true.
So I would rather deal with the lesser of the problems than create a bigger problem.
Hey, you know, we never shout out developers, like app developers.
That had never even crossed my mind, like, at all.
They're artists. They really are.
No, I agree. I'm gonna get a refill while you do that, though.
Oh, I'm not talking to anybody except for you.
But we're making a podcast.
Yes.
So
that's what a podcast... Okay, so we're going to break the 4th wall, or the 5th wall. Which wall is it? The 2nd wall? Should we parenting pause so you can get a refill?
Yes, let's parenting pause for a minute. Let's coffee pause.
Coffee pause.
Coffee pause.
We'll be right back. time is here. Spread winter cheer. Santa Claus and reindeer. We've been good this whole year. Okay, that was Christmas is Here by Jeff Medron. I thought it was just guitar, but then it was...
Well, I mean, the radio stations are playing Christmas music and have been since after Halloween, so...
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So I was going to shout out to an app. Mm-hmm. There's an app that I've been using called... oh, crap. What is it called? It's called Year in Pixels.
You're riding a tiger in that picture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's called Year in Pixels. I've been trying to focus on, and it's hard. Like these types of things that I've been doing have been hard and stressful in themselves.
More milk.
But
More milk.
more milk.
More milk, mommy. More milk, mommy.
There you go, friend. Enjoy, you little heathen.
Heathen.
I don't know.
Yeah, so trying to work on self-care, mental health, like trying to be a better person.
Is that where drinking a beer at 8 o'clock in the morning comes in?
No, that's called I'm on break.
Oh, okay.
And I can do whatever the heck I want today.
Wow.
More milk. More milk.
Okay, I guess I'll...
Your daughter wants more milk.
Here, I'll go grab her milk.
Oh, okay.
You can
This
shout
girl-
out if you want.
This girl is a milkaholic. Do you like milk a lot? Juju? You do? She's shaking her head yes.
I will. You want. Orange.
You did what?
Orange.
This isn't orange. This is blue. She's pulling my sweatshirt and saying orange. And I'm like, no, it's blue.
It's no, it's red.
It's not red. You're silly. Oh, look, it's milk. It's milk. Wow. Okay, go get it. She's not falling for it at all. Lorenzo's walking with the sippy back to our bedroom to get her interested in something, and she's like not having it. Oh my gosh, you're heavy. Oh, we're gonna do this, I guess. Huh? She's been very snuggly lately with me. And here.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to try to get a thought out.
Okay, good luck.
This is like the story of our lives as parents. And, dude, it sounds like we're always complaining, but I'm not. I'm not complaining. Like, it's fine. But,
It's hashtag fine.
maybe we are complaining. I don't know. We can
Let's not go there today. Let's not
delve
go
into that later.
Look at me.
Look at you.
I got the suit.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Come on.
She like hands me her sippy cup like, here, hold my milk.
Does anybody else do podcasts with toddlers?
I don't know. Oh, there goes
I'm
my
sure
phone.
it's riveting.
I know, right? People are like, in case you don't have kids and you're listening to this, you're probably like, oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Now I know. Whoa,
Yeah.
what the heck? Our kids are now talking to Google and putting on puppy dog pals.
Yeah. Time to pause.
Ay.
We'll be back. Okay, we're back. So, we're going to try to power through this podcast, and it's going to be a true parenting versus podcast bonus.
I think we say that every time.
Yeah. But we are going to have some time tonight with each other.
Thank God.
God bless the parents for taking care of three kids, which is good. But I was talking about apps, and speaking of apps and apps that are developed, the new Voice Memos app in iOS, it looks nicer, but as far as functionality is concerned, it definitely has lost some functionality, and I'm kind of disappointed.
I feel the same way actually about that. Because you have to like go into the app to see your voicemails. Like it doesn't just pop up and give you
The voice memos.
Oh, voice memos.
Are you talking about the voicemail app in Android?
Voicemail,
yeah, they got rid of visual voicemail, but they did add this weird call screening app. I don't know if it's weird, but yesterday you called me, and I went to answer the phone, and they added a new button on my call screen in Android.
Yeah.
On Pixel devices. Riley's getting into stuff. Hang on.
Yawn. Yeah, no, I tried to call Lorenzo yesterday, and it was like, this person is using Google something. Please state why you're calling. And I was like, I'm calling you back.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can't understand you.
Yeah. So if you get an unknown call, instead of just ignoring it and hoping they leave a voicemail, it actually answers, like Google Assistant, like Google Voice. It's like the Siri version for Google.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, will answer the call for you.
But
and
it should have recognized my number.
Well, it did. I saw you were calling, but I pressed. There's two buttons. There's an answer button. There's the green phone button to answer, and there's another button that says call screen. I accidentally pressed that button, so it answered the call.
Accidentally?
Yeah, and when you were talking, I can hear it would transcribe whatever you were saying on my screen.
Huh.
And like I had different options. Like one was like, is it urgent? Why are you calling? I'll call you back. Like there's different options for. It was kind of interesting.
Do you ever feel like we just make things that are simple like way more complicated than they need to be?
I don't know. People are trying to work on stuff.
Because I feel like you either answer the phone or you don't. You don't really need to explain yourself to people.
Well, this is for people who don't answer phone calls from people that they don't know, and maybe it's important. But if it's
maybe important, they'll leave a message.
But maybe somebody is calling from somebody else's phone, like they just got in an accident, but their phone is dead, and they need you like urgently bad. Like you can answer it without like being worried about.
But like, how often does that actually happen?
Well, it doesn't happen to me ever because I answer every single one of my calls. But there are a lot of people out there who, for whatever reason, don't answer calls from phone numbers that. So this would benefit you then.
What are you doing?
Because there could be a chance that a small chance.
Yeah, I guess.
A small chance, but maybe I'm being eaten by mountain lions.
I mean, I would hope that if that's happening, you're not taking the time to call me.
I know. I just wondered.
You're like, hey, I'm calling you from a mountain lion's stomach. I just want to let you know, like, I won't be home for dinner. Like, because I was dinner.
I am dinner. Yeah.
No, I am dinner.
But the voice memos app in iOS, the hardware is still there. Like, the recording is decent on an iPhone. That's what we record on.
Yeah.
But the actual app functionality is not the awesome, not the best. No, but an app that I love. So I purged last week.
The purge?
I purged my phone.
Don't say I purged.
Why?
Because that's like a bulimic term for like throwing up your food.
Well, I mean, it could be.
It is.
But okay, I ridded my phone of apps that I felt like wasted time.
Okay.
The biggest waste of time I found was Facebook, because I would every day get 15 notifications, none of which were direct communications with me. I was like, so and so posted a picture. I'm like, that's not a notification. I don't care.
You can turn those off, so you don't see
I've
them.
tried, and anyways, it's still like. I mean, Facebook is okay. Like, I want to post a picture of my child. I'm sure people without children hate that, which is fine with me.
But they're also on Facebook, so handle it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So, anyways, I got rid of Facebook. I got rid of Twitter. I got rid of a couple of video games. I got rid of a bunch of apps that were like just not even being used. And I made this like commitment to have apps that can help improve my who I am. So I have Duolingo. What's she?
I have no idea. Riley, get out of the sink. What is he doing?
Should I pause again?
No, don't keep doing that. Riley's just been doing this thing where he knows that he gets attention if he does the wrong things. So he does the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's very 3-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to like react too much, but at the same time, I don't want him to, get scissors and cut his sister's hair or something.
That's a Riley thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got rid of all those apps, and I downloaded some apps that I feel like can help me do better. Mm-hmm. So I downloaded Lose It. I'm tracking calories. I mean, I've always had it. Strava, so I can go on runs. Duolingo, so I can learn Spanish. And I've actually been doing Duolingo every day. Mm-hmm. And then there's an app I've had for a long time called Journey that helps you to journal your day. And it's good to, like, mental health status.
Dude, tonight cannot come soon enough. Okay, cool. Sounds awesome. Where's your toys? Let's do that.
There's another app called Pixels.
Go get your phone.
She's getting her phone. It's called Year in Pixels. So it's like a journaling app, but it's like a mental health. Like, it asks you, like, how was your day today? And when you edit,
you do have a spouse that could ask you that.
No, I know, but this is like a good way to track. Like, if
to what end? What's the point?
It's self-awareness and mental health. Like, this is.
You got your phone and your journal. Okay.
Mm-hmm. No, like, being self-aware of, like, where you are, like, that's healthy.
Yeah, I know that. But, like, why do you need an app to keep track of it?
Because this helps me.
Why don't you just reflect on your day every day and think about, like...
No, I do. I reflect a lot. Like, I think I might reflect more than most because I have a physical journal. I have I have 2 digital journals. Like, I reflect. And then I have a professional, like, teacher reflection that I do.
So why do you need an app if you're doing all those things?
No, this is different, though. Look.
I feel like you're just replacing one app with one thing with something else.
So my whole point of doing this is to have things that are useful. Mm-hmm. This is useful.
Okay.
It's called Year in Pixels, and when I click the edit button, it gives me different, like, emojis, I guess. You can have those little smiley faces. One is like, I had a shitty day, a bad day. I broke even. I had a happy day, or like I was overjoyed. Mm-hmm. And you tap which one, how you felt, and then if you want to write a little bit of something about it, that's fine. But then if you go to the pixels, it colors a little box in like an Excel spreadsheet, like little chart, how your days have been. So my blue ones, those are the ones that break even. The green ones are kind of bad days, and the blue one is a good day. I haven't had extremes in either which way.
I think the green ones are good days.
No, green ones are. Oh, you're right. Green ones is a good one. And then the purple one is a bad day, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, it's good to, like, be cognizant, like, and aware of your feelings and, like, how you feel, I think. So, and it's simple. So that's what I've been doing. Mm-hmm. But anyways, like, over the course of 3 parenting pauses, that was pretty much not fun. But anyways.
Can we maybe continue this a little bit later?
Sure.
I'm getting really irritated right now, and
no problem.
I can't deal with these kids and a podcast right now.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure, you see. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. More and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today.
Okay, we're back. That song was intro by Jeff Omedveron.
I liked it.
Yeah, it was neat.
I was like, way to go, Jeff.
You got to get closer to me.
Sorry.
I know you're relaxing, but you got to get closer.
Not relaxing.
Okay.
Cool.
Sorry, I'm just gonna try to.
And a couple of guys who are up to no good.
Yep, we know the song.
They started making trouble in my neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
I got in one little fight.
Okay, I get it.
My mom got scared. I think you know the rest.
I do know the rest. Thank you.
Wow, you are. So it's a day later, you guys.
No, it's not. It's not. We have a continuous story.
Okay.
No time passed.
All right. No time passed. I don't. Why are you shaking your head at me? Why are you shaking your head at me? This is real life, bro. This is real life. This is how we do.
So, gosh.
Apparently Lorenzo had a whole plan for how this was going to go down, and he didn't share it with me. So
I did. So I guess it's a day later, and it's not a continuous story.
does it have to be?
And
Does it have to be?
yes.
Why?
Can we do a new episode?
No. This is good. I like this. This
Okay.
is real. This is how our life is. Like, handle it.
All right. It's cold outside.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Lorenzo's cranky. I'm not sure why, because
I'm not cranky.
we have no kids this morning. Notice the quiet in the air?
24 hours later, I guess.
Yeah. You got to sleep in. You got to wake up to freshly brewed coffee, and I made cranberry sauce, so the house smelled like delicious cranberry this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, you're still cranky.
I'm not cranky.
Uh-huh.
I just had an idea.
But again, like, communication is important.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's one of the things that our relationship, like, we need to work on.
Yeah.
We always say that, but
It's
It's what?
nothing.
Maybe we need to take a cranky pause for you.
Why?
Because you're really cranky right now.
I'm not cranky.
And it's starting to get on my nerves.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Mm-hmm.
speaking of communication, there's an app that we downloaded. Because you like to talk about apps, and we talked about one yesterday. And I wanted to talk about one today. I know you're probably not that interested in it, but it's okay. It's called Lasting. It's a marriage health app. It's pretty cool. You take a little like quiz, and then you can link your partner to it, and it talks about the areas that, based on your quiz results, like you and your partner need to work on, and then it gives you little like coaching sessions. There's a paid version and there's an unpaid version, but we're doing the unpaid. It's kind of interesting. So
Cool. Yeah, I took the quiz. It was nice.
communication was in our top 2, so there you go.
I didn't even look at the results. I didn't know there were results. No, I got to that page. I just didn't know there was results.
Uh-huh.
So.
You can tell Lorenzo's really invested in this.
In what? The app? No, I just didn't. I looked at that page and I couldn't tell if there was results or not. I thought there was just like step-by-step little coachings or something.
No.
So, here we are a day later. I had a flow.
Again, this was not communicated to me, so I guess I'm supposed to be a mind reader. I don't know.
What kind of statement is that?
Go ahead. Tell me about your flow.
No, it doesn't matter. Like I wanted to pause and like it was, because when you listen to the podcast, it's like a 30-minute or 30-second like break.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I know that. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's today or yesterday or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like irrelevant.
Sure. And I know people recorded them like that. But
So?
it's like you don't tell your audience that.
We are not typical podcasters, and I really, no offense, audience, I don't really give a crap about what you think.
That's true.
So
yeah,
handle it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. But
Let's be honest, we're not polished in our presentation, like, ever.
That's true.
It doesn't matter.
That's true.
People don't expect this to be, like, seamless.
Yeah. Well, I went out to check the mail.
Mm-hmm.
and it's a little chilly, a little cold. And it is Thanksgiving. It's no longer the day before Thanksgiving, obviously, even though I wanted to pretend.
Let's not pretend to be what we're not. Let's just be who we are.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to record a new podcast.
That's stupid.
It's not stupid.
It is super
Yesterday's kind of sucked.
I don't think so. It's the same podcast right now that we're talking on, and I think
we
it's
were
great.
frustrated. We were angry.
I'm frustrated right
kids.
now because you keep arguing about this dumb thing that has no bearing on anything, and it's just like, who cares?
So I listened to a book. I think I mentioned it a long time ago. Maybe I did or not. Did I tell you about it? Mm-hmm. What is it called then?
Something about Christians for beginners or something.
Something about Christians.
I have no idea because we've talked about it so many times. It's like beating a dead horse.
His name is Jonathan Merritt.
You talked about... Okay. All right. Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, what was I going to say about that book? There was something that applied. I can't remember.
Huh.
It's so quiet.
I know. That's why you should be enjoying this time instead of complaining.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
I got you beard oil yesterday.
Thank you.
So that your beard doesn't itch.
Oh, that's what it was.
Whoa.
Not the beard oil.
Okay.
But
how did that...
He was talking... So this guy, Jonathan Merritt, he's an author. Obviously. He's an author. He wrote a book. He's a columnist. He writes for, I think, the Atlantic, I think.
I like the Atlantic.
Maybe he writes for other things too. Washington Post, I think. WAPO. But he was talking about how we overshare with our technology. Like we overshare our lives.
Yeah.
And
it's
that
true.
sharing can be helpful because you are letting people know that you're going through similar situations, and like you can make people feel like they're not alone. But at the same time, there's some things that need to just be held in private, like you share only with your close friends. Like that should be sacred, I guess.
Like what you ate for breakfast?
No, like what
I'm
you eat for
just kidding.
breakfast, like who cares?
Yeah.
But sometimes
But that's why I'm saying it's overshared.
Sometimes
like,
I wonder...
Look at my burrito. And you're like, nobody cares.
I care.
Do
If
you?
somebody shares some awesome piece of food...
Let me rephrase that. If it wasn't a burrito, because I know if it was a burrito, you would care. I know that. You have a deep-seated passion for burritos and all things burrito related. I get it. Let's say it was like a piece of cheese.
Like, yeah, sure. I do like cheese.
Okay.
Yeah. So oversharing, he was talking about how there should be some sort of like balance. And I wonder if our podcast is us oversharing, our little bickering and our marriage and stuff.
You know what I say to that? If you don't like it and you think we're oversharing, don't listen to it.
No, some people, I mean, it's not like if they don't like it. Like, who gives a shit if they don't like it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the point of, like, there's things in your life that should just be private.
Mm-hmm. It's not like we're talking about our sex life on this thing.
Like, have you ever gone through your Facebook feed and somebody was just, like, completely bashing their spouse, like, after a fight, and you're like, ooh, that's awkward. Like, they wanted to vent. Like, somebody vented on a Facebook post, and they obviously didn't think this through before they clicked submit.
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, that's a little weird. Like, those are the sorts of things that maybe they shouldn't be shared.
You're right. And if you have time to post it on Facebook, you probably have time to talk to somebody in a marital counseling situation.
It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or there's some things that are just like really, really like just personal things that are better worked out with close friends and family.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you can look at that and say that, but people write blogs all the time.
No, there's blogs.
And I don't think that's any different. It's
I think,
like a journal that anybody can read.
Yeah. But you have to invest the time and energy to like read the blog. You have to go to their website.
But the point is, no. The point is though, you're putting it out there. Like if you think it should be private, don't put it out there in the first place.
I think Facebook, it just makes it a lot more easy. It's more convenient.
Of course. And there's been times where I've like vented on Facebook because I just like need that outlet like right now. Mm-hmm. It's like an instantaneous, like I need to vent right now because I'm about ready to lose my shit and I just need to get it out. And yes, usually I'll go back and be like, okay, delete. Like, probably not the best way to do it. I think we're all guilty of that in some way. I think that people also do things that are like very attention seeking on Facebook. Maybe it's not like calling somebody out necessarily, but it's like, I don't know. My favorite posts are the ones that are like very ominous. It's like, I'm just really going through something right now. I can't tell you what, but just pray for me. It's like, really? Because if that's really how you felt, you wouldn't put it out there. And you wouldn't be like, oh, I can't tell you.
I like that they're being private about it, though. Like,
it's not, it's so hypocritical. It's not private.
I'm going through a hard time, but I'm not going to tell you this shit because it's none of your business. But I'm going through something. I think that's way better than somebody saying my spouse is a piece of shit. Like,
that's
you know what I mean?
Two different things, though. Listen to me for a second. That's two different issues. The issue I'm talking about is like, if it's so private and it's such a hard time, you're going to put it on Facebook and say, I'm not going to say what it is, even though you know everyone's going to be wondering. They're not going to be thinking, oh, that's really crappy. They're going through a hard time. Everybody's going to think, well, what is it? That's super attention seeking.
Yeah. Okay.
Like tell your close friends and family if you want, but you don't need to put it out there like and be like all aloof, like you think you're.
All right, I agree. That should
sneaky.
that should be left alone too. Social media just makes people awful.
It's like when people pray in groups and they're like, I have an unspoken prayer request. You're like, dude.
That's another Christianese term.
I know, but I'm like, don't say that. That's dumb. Either tell us what it's gonna be, or don't say anything at all. But saying it's unspoken is kind of pointless because God already knows what it is. You don't need to announce it to everybody else.
I think there's that there's that pool between like you want there's some stuff that should be kept private. Like your burrito
problem that we're trying to overcome.
No, there's some things that should be kept private, and like you're like, man, guys, I'm battling this, or maybe you're just too embarrassed about it. That's fine. I've been there.
But talk to a person you trust in real life. Don't. But
there's some things that are really embarrassing.
Well, that's true.
Maybe you have a hemorrhoid that you need prayer for. I don't know.
You gonna pray your hemorrhoids away?
I don't know.
There's
or it
doctors for that. You know,
it could be. I mean, there could be some sort of like sexual thing happening, or there could be some financial thing happening, and those things like.
But that begs the question: should you put it on social media?
I'm not even talking about social media. Like social media, of course not. I don't like social media. I will post. Like my filter on Facebook is a picture of my child and a little title. That's it. Because Facebook is complete baloney. I hate Facebook.
I know, you said that.
It sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people post anything on Facebook because it's awful. I just don't like it. And that's my opinion.
I can tell you why I do.
Why?
Like there's certain things that I do.
Okay.
For example, like I have some relatives that are distant relatives that don't ever get to see me or my kids, and some of them I've never met. So it's nice to be able to like give them the opportunity to see things about my life if they're so inclined, or there's things like that. There's relatives that I'm meeting for the first time that I've never met before.
What?
And stuff. So it's for them, it's so they can see it. I have a brother that lives out of state, so I can't always talk on the phone with him. I try, but like sometimes it's nice for him to be able to see things on Facebook and vice versa. I want to see things like about his life. I get the point of it. Should I be posting about like Lorenzo makes me so mad when he does A, B, C, and D? No. Should I be like, you know who you are, I'm pissed? No, shouldn't do that either.
My kids
suck.
There's
a good balance.
I hate my kids so much. Blah, blah, blah. Submit.
I've never said I hate my kids.
I've never said you did.
Wow.
Like,
have you actually read somebody writing that?
I've read some awkward posts.
Yeah. I also like the ones that are like, my favorite stupid Facebook posts are like, God is so amazing. If you believe that, tag 50 people. I'm like, that is some stupid crap.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to judge and say, like, that's stupid.
I am.
I don't like
stupid.
I don't like telling people that they're stupid.
Okay.
But, I mean, I wouldn't do that. And those are typically, like, if those are on your Facebook feed, it's typically going to be somebody that is older.
Yeah.
And
it just reminds me of like a chain letter. I'm like, what's going to happen if I don't?
No, it's typically older people. And I don't know. I think it's just a different generation.
Do you remember chain letters from elementary school? Do you ever do those?
I think I remember them, but I don't think I ever did.
It was like, copy this letter and give it to 5 people.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. I just had the little flashback of like 4th grade.
That's nice.
You don't care. That's cool.
I do care.
Don't worry about it.
That's nice.
Can you not do that?
Yeah, so talking about food, because I'm hungry. Yeah, post your pictures of food, by the way. Those are way better than your awkward posts. I like looking at food.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, wow, where'd you get that awesome piece of meal?
Piece of meal?
Piece of...
That awesome piece of meal.
Where'd you get that awesome piece of meat? Or post your pictures of beer. Like, I think that's what social media is for. Post these pictures of this food so I can know where you got it. So I can admire that food.
Okay.
Or say that food is awful. People are ashamed for posting pictures of their food, so I don't think people do it much anymore. Mm-hmm. But
I would rather see pictures of food than like somebody who takes like 500 selfies.
I don't have any friends that do selfies.
I think it's more of a younger generation thing.
Maybe on Snapchat, because they have those fun filters.
No, I think it's younger. What's that noise?
That was our ice maker.
Oh. Like people that are younger. I see that a lot, and I'm like, dude, or like the Christian girls that'll like post selfies, and it's like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You're like, dude, don't throw a Bible verse on that. Like, just
those are probably close friends of yours that did that.
Admit that, like, just admit that.
Maybe they listen to the podcast.
No, I don't think so. You know, just admit that you want to take a selfie. Like, just it is what it is. You don't have to throw a Bible verse on it. Like, it's cool.
I don't ever do selfies because I'm reminded of how ugly I am.
Wow.
Like, dude, is that what you look like?
You should be used to your face by now. I mean, you've lived with it for 35 years.
Did you know your eyes are never going to physically see your own face? Like,
yes,
I will never see my mouth.
You're trying to look at your mouth right now?
I will never see my own teeth, ever, with my own eyes.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
What, this?
He's trying to... Can't even. He's trying to look at his teeth. We all know it's impossible.
Can you see your own teeth?
No, of course not. Stop doing that. It's making me really uncomfortable. Like, I can't even look at you because I'm like, that face is so awkward.
You also never see the small of your back.
That's true. Don't try to look.
Unless you're very flexible. Speaking of small of your back, I'm thinking about getting a tramp stamp.
Yeah? Is it going to be a butterfly?
No.
Oh, palm tree?
Nope, it's going to be...
Wait, let me guess. Hold on. A rose? Paw prints.
It's going to be the Hubble telescope.
Okay. Are you a science tramp?
I actually stole that from Star Talk Radio.
Oh, yes, I am a science slut. I love science.
So they started to put Star Talk... it's a podcast that I love with Neil deGrasse Tyson, my idol.
Oh, we know. We know.
It's a podcast called Star Talk Radio, but they...
Right. I'm just writing something down. Keep talking.
They film it and they broadcast it on the Nat Geo channel. So I found this out yesterday. So I binge watched some Star Talk. And the first episode I watched was The Science of Food with Anthony Bourdain. Oh. So it was Neil deGrasse Tyson and
Anthony Bourdain.
Dude, like watching these two men talk about food, it was like, I'm like, these are two geniuses, two brilliant
people in their
human
fields.
beings, just talking about food and culture and.
That just breaks my heart, though. Like Anthony Bourdain, like that still makes me sad to think about.
No, he's a fantastic man. Mm-hmm. No, but they were talking about tattoos. Well, first they started to talk about spicy food and like why different people like spicy food or why it's part of their cuisine.
Yeah.
And it was really fascinating. Just like cultures have it. They originally had it because typically spicy foods are popular in regions where it's kind of sparse. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have a lot of food available to them, so they had to preserve the food. And there are some agents inside of the spice that preserves the food. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's a part of their cuisine. And then he was talking to, Anthony Bourdain was talking about, or no, Neil deGrasse Tyson brought it up. I guess Szechuan food is very spicy. Mm-hmm. And Anthony Bourdain's like, yeah, I've been to the Szechuan province a couple times. Of course he has. But he was talking about... It's
actually one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, yeah? Uh-huh. Is it on...
No Reservations. It's old.
I like No Reservations better than the CNN one.
Yeah, me too.
But he was talking about how you go to the... I forgot what he called them, like these little shops where they get food. I can't remember he had a name for it. But he's like, you see the locals, they're just like in pain, like killed over, like almost like just dying because they're just getting all this spice. But there's something that happens to your body when you eat spice. You get rushes of endorphins, mm-hmm. and you become addicted to it. Yeah. And he compared it to tattoos. He's like, that's kind of the same thing. Like when you're done with a tattoo, you're like, man, when can I get another tattoo? Because of that feeling. So they were talking about like, what should Neil deGrasse Tyson's tattoo be?
His tramp stamp.
And it would be a heart with Isaac Newton. That was one of them.
Could it be like the apple falling, but could it be a heart?
That would be funny.
Yeah.
The other one was a Hubble telescope tramp stamp. And then the other one was like, the Earth is not flat on his forehead.
Just in case you weren't sure, yeah. I'm going to put it right here.
Yeah. And the other one was a tear for every planet you've killed.
A tear for every planet you've killed? Jeez. So let's start with this one.
So, do you want to wrap up?
No, keep talking for a second.
I don't want to talk.
I just have to go to the bathroom, guys. Like, good lord.
Okay. So, yeah, it was really good. And then the next episode I watched was with Joe Rogan, who, I don't know, I'm not really a Joe Rogan fan. I know of him. I've listened to a couple of his episodes. The one with Neil deGrasse Tyson I listened to because I'm a Tyson fan. And then I also listened to the one with Marquez Brownlee, who's a YouTuber who he reviews tech. And he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they were just talking tech. But Joe Rogan actually, he's a really smart guy, and like he talks a lot about just common sense stuff. And it was a really interesting episode, and I had a little bit more respect for Joe Rogan after listening to that podcast. I mean, I guess you can say I judged a book by its cover, but his podcast, he just talks and talks and talks about really just fascinating stuff and keeps your attention. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll start listening to the podcast more, the Joe Rogan Experience, but it was really an interesting conversation that he had with Neil deGrasse Tyson. So, and I think that was the only two I watched on Nat Geo. Yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, I like that. I like the Star Talk podcast, and the video version made it that much better. It was just really interesting to kind of see what was going on, or on their faces, their facial expressions, their everything else that goes on. So, anyways,
I think the toilet paper.
That's
good times.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna post it on Facebook.
You should. I'm out of toilet paper.
Kidding, not gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't ever check Facebook. I'm on one social media, Instagram. I do enjoy the stories on Instagram because you can post bullshit and then it's just gone.
Post bullshit
and it's just gone.
Hey, so I'm sorry. I shouldn't have interrupted you.
No, you're fine.
I was going to ask you if you had any shout-outs.
I don't ever have any shout-outs, ever.
Really? That's not
true.
No,
I don't consume anything. Does it have to be some sort of business?
Maybe. I was going to say, oh my goodness. I was going to say, I wanted to shout out Bosque Brewing.
Oh yeah, we went to their Bernalillo location. It was nice.
Yeah. It was really nice. It was huge. I was so amazed at how huge it was. Like, it used to be this giant barn, and we went last night. I had a beer, and we both had some dinner. Mm-hmm. And, it was just awesome. Really nicely done inside, mm-hmm. aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Mm-hmm. We had a cool table that we could overlook like the brewing, I don't know, machinery. What do you call it? Like equipment, I guess.
Sure.
So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a nice little getaway from the norm for us. It's in Bernalillo, so it was a little bit of a trek, but it was much enjoyed. And they're doing a coffee stout release on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
Should be pretty delicious.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a burger last night and it was tasty.
It was tasty. Mm-hmm. I had the pork sliders and mac and cheese, and it was definitely amazing.
Yeah.
What are you listening to, Lorenzo?
I'm still listening to my audiobook. It's called I'm pulling it up right now. It's called Sinners in the Hands of a Loving God by Brian Zahnd. Oh,
so it's a twist on sinners in the hands of an angry God.
Yeah, he talked about that book and how he's a pastor in. I
had to read that book in Bible college and it was very boring.
Did you?
Yep.
He's a pastor in what is it? I think he's in Jefferson City, Missouri. But no, okay, so I'll just read the little blurb on it. Okay. God is wrath or God is love? In his famous sermon, Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God, Puritan revivalist Jonathan Edwards shaped predominating American theology with a vision of God as angry, violent, and retributive. 3 centuries later, Brian Zahnd was both mesmerized and terrified by Edwards' wrathful God. Haunted by fear that crippled his relationship with God, Zahnd spent years praying for a divine experience of hell. What Zahnd experienced instead of his father's love-related What Brian Zahnd experienced instead was the Father's love revealed perfectly through Jesus Christ for all prodigal sons and daughters. In Sinners in the Hands of a Loving God, Zahnd asks important questions like, is seeing God primarily as wrathful towards sinners true or biblical? Is fearing God a normal experience behavior? And where might the natural implications of this theological framework lead us? Thoughtfully wrestling with subjects like Old Testament genocide, the crucifixion of Jesus, eternal punishment in hell, and the final judgment in Revelation, Zahnd maintains that the summit of divine revelation for sinners is not God is wrath, but God is love. So
Interesting.
He talks about a lot of stuff. Like one of the questions he was asking was like, did God kill Jesus? Did God have to kill Jesus in order to satisfy his wrath or anger? Or was the crucifixion just an expression of forgiveness, and it wasn't God who killed, but man and the government that he was a part of? So,
well, that's some heavy stuff, but I honestly think, like, just off the top of my head, if Jesus was the perfect example of love, then it could have only been Jesus on the cross.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I mean, that's a whole different conversation, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting perspective.
As far as music is concerned, I have been listening to some mellow stuff just because, I'm not at work this week for the rest of this week because it's Thanksgiving, but I like to grade papers to mellow music. So I think I mentioned this last time, but I'm listening to It's Hard to Find a Friend by Pedro the Lion.
Yeah.
Also Imbue by The Early November. I got back into Half Noise. There's an album called Volcano Crow.
Yeah.
Crow? Is it Crow or Crow?
Oh, where am I looking here? Oh, I don't know. Crow, I think.
Dialects by Snowmine.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good album. That is like perfect for winter. This is like the perfect season to be listening to that.
And then
Dialects by Snowmine. Oh my gosh, I forgot how much I love that album.
Yeah. And then Awake by Tycho.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah. But when I'm not grading papers, I listen to Instant Gratification by Dance Gavin Dance.
Dance, Gavin, dance. Poor Gavin.
It's like,
he's always dancing.
This guy sings like in falsetto. There's a little bit of screaming. There's like intricate technical guitars and good drums, and I kind of like it. So
cool.
All right.
You
don't get to tell.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Your music is better.
Well, I was gonna start with podcasts. I've been listening to Sounds Like MLM, but okay. I've mentioned that a few times because they have new episodes coming out pretty soon. And so I'm always on that. I just finished the podcast Sold in America, the first season of it. It's really good. It talks about sex trafficking in the United States. I've also started listening to another local podcast called 10 Drink Minimum. They are out of Albuquerque, so I've been enjoying that because they're local, so I got to support the local peeps when I can. And then Unerased, which is like basically a really interesting podcast about people in America that have been subjected to conversion therapy, meaning like pray the gay away, or, you know, people come out and their family doesn't like that, so they try to get them quote unquote cured. Interesting stuff. It's people's stories, people that have dealt with that. It's on Stitcher, so you can check that one out. It's called Unerased. As far as music goes, I have been listening to some really random things. Kind of been all over the board with music lately. It's, I mean, not a bad thing. It's just kind of like, I've been listening to a band called Cold Showers. It sounds weird, but they're pretty good. Oh, we're looking at old pictures too as we do this. Yeah, so Cold Showers, Big Black Delta is a band that I really like. They're kind of gritty. Mm-hmm. They use a little bit of their music in the show The Sinner, if you've watched that on Netflix. If you haven't, it's really good, really intense. So that's a good binge watcher. Season 1 is on Netflix, so it's called The Sinner. It has Jessica Biel. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of one of those things that I didn't think I would watch, and then I did, and I was like, glad I watched that. That was super interesting. And then who else? I'm trying to find my music here. Oh, yeah, guys. So much music. Anderson .Paak has some new stuff out. So I kind of checked that out. He has a collaboration with Snoop Dogg, so that's cool. And then, Imagine Dragons has some new stuff out too. I can't say that I like it though. I tried it.
I'm not an Imagine Dragons fan.
Yeah, I
was kind of annoyed because the kids like Imagine Dragons, which is fine. Like, I'll throw it on and let them jam out.
Yeah.
But Google thinks I like it now because Google is all about the machine learning. It's like, oh, you played a bunch of Imagine Dragons,
so now you love it.
Yeah.
I've also listened to a band called Hippocampus, and then Vancouver Sleep Clinic. It's very mellow. And then the last one is this guy named Kweku Collins. That's Kweku, Kweku Collins.
That's fantastic. He's
wonderful. I really like him. So, yeah. That's kind of what I'm into lately. And then there's another band who did a cover of Passion Pit's Sleepyhead, but the band is called Young and Sick. They're actually pretty good too.
You sent that to me.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good remake.
Well, it's been a
interesting journey.
2 days worth.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get some breakfast.
And we're gonna eat some turkey.
Hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Bye.